The carriers that we deal with right now are concerned in a lot of areas, primarily with retaining subscribers and doing those things which allow them to have an optimized system. We found that little things make a very big difference in the way these systems go together, and the ability to test that and make sure that everything is working to an optimal level is really what we want to try to accomplish. Certainly, the base station manufacturers do an extremely good job with the products that they provide, and it's not really so much a question about that, but things that go into the process of this when these base stations are installed, and just things to check to make sure that everything is the way it needs to be. I will mention that we do have a number of products that we make in terms of base station analyzers and spectrum analyzers that allow us to cover pretty much any of the bands, the bandwidths, or really any of the testing needs to be done. Anything from the basics in cable and antenna work, which is what we refer to as line sweep type testing, which I think all the wireless carriers are very familiar with that process, really physical layer type testing. And we do deal with international standards for this. Just about anywhere in the world that there's a need to test for LTE, we're capable of doing that with these products. We found that there's been situations where if these pilots are too close together in terms of actual value, that it's an inefficient process as far as neighboring cell sites are concerned. So what we want to be able to do is to provide a way to make those adjustments properly, and this will be minor things like perhaps even changing an antenna tilt, just so that we have a difference in the levels so that these systems can operate very efficiently. When we go into a pass-fail mode, the idea of this is to be able to allow the carrier to define exactly how they want to make measurements. Each one of the base station manufacturers probably have a little bit of a difference in what they consider a pass-fail level that they want to be able to measure against. So this basically just allows us to do that. That we've got certain guidelines that we go by for direct connections to the base station, also for over-the-air type measurements, and then per vendor specifications. So these are the three big things that go into setting one of these charts up. And certainly consequences will be inconsistent measurements between base stations if we don't stick to some particular standard in the way to do that. And of course that leads to some inefficiencies in the network if that be the case.